All right, fastest 15 minutes in social media, fastest 15 minutes on the internet, live from the utility closet. That's the mess with my wife. Anyway, want to talk about my man Hubert Davis, the newly appointed coach at University of North Carolina, and so apparently, and for some reason, I couldn't like play the tape, and I was like trying to, and I've been trying. So this is without me hearing the tape. So I'm gonna be honest, I haven't heard the tape. I just read the reports, but I guess completely out of the blue, he says that he's happy that his wife is white. So I'm trying to figure out what that's about. Baby, I'm happy that you're black. A little shout out to my wife there. Baby, I'm happy you're black. That I married the Asiatic black woman, the conduit from heaven, I should say from the universe to the earth realm. Thank you very much. I love you back. All right, but I'm still, I can't figure this whole thing out. I'm still trying to figure it out. Why would he say that? And so, well, in fact, I'll go back to my wife again, because she was like, well, somebody must have said something to him, like during the press conference, but I couldn't hear it. So at this point, I'm still thinking like, dude is crazy. Like, like dude is like a nutcase or something like that for just bringing that random fact up, without being, I guess without being asked or whatever, or without any type of, any stuff behind it. So, so that kind of got me going. Then the other thing that got me going is DMX. Okay. And so, and I'm not trying to brag or nothing. And in fact, y'all could talk to my wife about this. But when DMX took sick, right, the first thing, and they reported that it was a drug overdose. The first thing out of my mouth was, yeah, everybody got, because how like if you went on any type of social media that day, it was like, everybody had like pictures of DMX, and I was like, man, it's like y'all ain't showed DMX this much love since the 90s. It's like, and if he was a drug addict, then how come y'all wasn't trying to get him off the drugs? Come on now. I mean, and that's the thing. And we do that all the time in the black community. I mean, it's not just the whole DMX thing, but it's like everybody, we all guilty of it. I'm guilty of it too. We all got somebody somewhere, some shape, form, fashion, somehow that's, that got a problem, and we not helping them with the problem. And so then, man, this is like too much about my wife tonight. But so then, like, we're sitting at dinner, and she's like, well, you know everything about Mayat. You know the principles of Mayat, and you know what you're supposed to do. And I'm looking at her like, really? I'm like, really? Sometimes, well, unless you're married, but you don't know nothing about, but sometimes your spouse will give you like a look or the tone of their voice or whatever. Like if you've been together for long enough, these like the look or the tone of their voice. It's like, oh, okay. So if I don't say the right thing, I'm in trouble. but the first thing in my mind is that Mayat, and that's why you should learn the principles, and you should, understand those negative confessions, because everything is the whole thing about the netters and all of that, and I know y'all want to call them gods, but they're not gods. They're part of your human nature. And so that's another thing that I get mad a lot, because I'm like, man, stop telling people that these are gods. People think that we're polytheistic. We are not polytheistic. We just believe that God dwells inside of us, and that we are God, and made in His image or her image. In fact, I don't even want to put a sex to it, because that's ridiculous. And so those negative confessions are like the way we achieve like equity and balance and all those type of things, which the world frowns at. And see, so that's why we constantly telling y'all, back out of religion, leave the whole religion thing alone, because it's not teaching you how to survive in the universe. See, your survival has to be universal. And the other thing is, if you know anything about, and one of the things that the Egyptian Book of the Dead, the book of coming forth by day, talks about is alchemy. And the Bible doesn't really tell us about alchemy. And so alchemy is like things changed or change based on atmospheric circumstances, or even, it's almost like having, it's almost like the universe is like a big chemistry set. And so certain things make certain things and create certain things or whatever. So we always, so we're talking about stuff, and sometimes we don't realize how much this plays a part. So like drinking, and because I see people and they'll be on there, oh, don't drink, but it's not don't drink. It's like know how to drink and know why you drink and what you can do if you do drink. And I know everybody's like sitting up there going, what? And the reason why I'm saying that is because, they're like, well, alcohol puts you at your lowest vibration, but it only puts you at your lowest vibration when you do it without wisdom. Because after a while, it's just like when you're young. Okay. So when you're at your base energy, and you haven't evolved past your base energy, and you just get drunk, and then you find yourself throwing up in the toilet. But then your wisdom, eventually, hopefully, your wisdom will tell you, I can't do that no more. If I don't want to feel sick, or if I don't want to feel that way, hugging the toilet, then I realize that I got to make some changes, or I can't do this anymore. That's a behavior that I want to curb. And so that's why we always talking about that, because it's not necessarily what you do, but it's the balance and the equity and all of those things that are involved in what you do. So drugs is one of those things, because basically you're ingesting something, and some things you can ingest will kill you, will literally 100% kill you. So that's why you have to be careful with that kind of stuff. And then once again, I guess I should give my wife executive producer for this show, producer for this show, because the next thing is that this man, from what she told me, now this is according to my wife, she says this dude has 15 kids and the youngest is in 2nd grade. Now that I didn't know, and I didn't look it up before I started this video, so I'm kind of being neglectful in my research or whatever. But if it's not true, just drop me a note and let me know. But according to her, she says this dude has 15 children and a 2nd grader. Now, when you got 15 children and a 2nd grader, you can't be a drug addict. I mean, you can be, but it ain't going to be beneficial to them 15 kids. And it really ain't going to be beneficial to you. So these are the type of things that we're always, we're always trying to, but in the alchemy involved, because once you get to the point where you get hooked, it's like there's like little you can do about it. Just like I just came out the hospital, and they'll give you all the painkillers and all that. That's what killed Michael Jackson and Prince. And they'll give you all the painkillers. They'll give you all the painkillers you ask for, that you want, that you desire, that you don't even want. They'll give them to you. But the downfall to that is that it's addictive. And so the first thing, I get out the hospital, the first thing I do is what? I cut off the pain meds. And I'm in pain. Don't get me wrong. I'm in pain a lot. But I deal with the pain as opposed to the subsequent pain, which may be that some of those painkillers might kill me or might render me inoperable or unable to operate and to live. And so slowly but surely, so my whole thing now is what? Is meditation, and also meditative, music, which will put me at a frequency which I can, which my body can heal, and it'll set my mind on healing. So, so, and then everything. So, and I'm chanting mantras about healing, about being healed. You see what I'm saying? But that's because, but, as opposed to that, but not really as opposed to it, but saying, okay, I got to heal myself, so that I'll be okay. And so that I feel okay, and that, that I can operate in this earth plane. Because what happens is, if you can't operate in this earth plane, you'll be snatched away from it. And so then, now I can't think of the girl's name. Now this I did read, and now I can't think of her name. But the girl said, and she said basically, rest in paradise, but if he's brain dead, he's dead. And I know y'all hate me for saying that, but I mean, just be, just be completely and totally honest with yourself, and he might, they got him on machines, and there's like a different report out every 5 minutes, or, everybody wants to be the one to deliver this news or that news. And in fact, at the time that I'm recording this, I don't even know what the news is. But let's be real. That's a major problem with humanity, period. Not just black people, but with all people. With all people. And especially with artists. Artists are the worst. People that are artists are always, they're always subjected to things outside of them, because they're always looking for the motivation for their next work, even though they may not even understand that that's what it is. But, in the 90s or whatever, DMX was like the man. And so all of y'all, and see, I was pretty much at that point, I was out of it. I was doing more television by that time than I was radio. But here's the thing, that y'all made a lot of money off this cat. I mean, he was one of the most popular rappers out there at the time. And y'all made a lot of money off this cat. So why didn't y'all, give him a hug? And, or holler at him and talk to him about it, and I mean, and especially if he got 15 kids, that's somebody you gotta look out for. It takes a village to raise a child, so it takes a real big village to raise 15 of them. You feel me? Anyway, so I guess, so then Funkmaster Flex came out and was like, he was basically saying the same thing. He was like, look, man, y'all ain't do nothing to try to help this dude. And y'all been knowing that this stuff been going on all this time, but everybody wanna act like you knew him and this, that, and the other thing. He was your boy and this, that, and the other thing. You got his picture all over your Instagram. You got his picture all over everywhere, and and get well soon and blah 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 blah. But nobody tried to help him for real. All right. So I'm done. Fast 15 minutes is up. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit all the buttons. Hubert Davis, what were you thinking? I'm happy my wife is white. Anyway, hit all the buttons, hit the love button.